So picture this. You wake up on a gloomy, dark morning, skies are gray, and you feel pretty down about yourself, but you're not exactly sure why. I'm sure a lot of us have been feeling this with the recent weather that we've been having, especially this winter. I've been feeling kind of down, but I wasn't exactly sure why. And it turns out there is a scientific reason as to why I've been feeling this way in the winter. So me being curious, it led me to research a little bit more, and I learned more about seasonal depression. So I'm going to discuss 3 of the big impacts and meanings of seasonal depression. The first one being seasonal affective disorder, which is actually the proper term for seasonal depression. Seasonal affective disorder, also referred to as SAD, is not to be confused with winter blues. I would describe winter blues as feeling stressed and anxious around the holiday season, specifically because of holiday or family related issues, and not specifically because of the psychology of less sunlight. So according to the Mayo Clinic, some of the symptoms that we feel when we experience SAD include low energy, trouble sleeping, which I know in the winter months I tend to oversleep, irritability. You might become quickly agitated, a little bit more irritable than usual, and you might have a loss of interest in regular activities like sports or your favorite hobbies, or work or school. So I'd say SAD in general, not to be confused with winter blues, is very common, but it doesn't just occur in the wintertime. It also occurs in the summertime, and an article by the University of Arizona has helped me research a little bit about this, and I learned that SAD can also happen in the summertime when temperatures are high and humidity levels are high. This is because it increases our heart rate, it makes us more dehydrated, and we have an imbalance of electrolytes. For a lot of people, they also get allergies in the summertime because of the increased pollen, and I feel like with allergies, it can give you a little bit more fatigue. You might even be distraught because allergies, I know, can take up some of your time and even have an emotional aspect there. So I just wanted to add on and kind of reverse that common stereotype of seasonal depression in the wintertime by also referring to how it can occur for some folks in the summertime. So the next big impact is the day-to-day life and how we are affected by SAD in the short term. We know that in the short term, any form of depression can make us sad and feel a little bit lethargic, but when we increase our serotonin, whether that be with more sunlight, there's a lot of great alarm clocks that are made nowadays that give us the sunlight that we are missing in the summertime or in the wintertime. And these can be effective tools to increase our serotonin, which I like to refer to as the happy hormone. So we need this to keep on going. A lot of times when we are lacking serotonin, we might, without realizing, avoid plans, avoid our everyday activities, and we might experience brain fog. So I think it's very important to keep this hormone up and running. And I'd say that finding your best self-care methods to increase your serotonin will help you a lot during months of winter where you might not get as much. This also leads me into the topic of vitamin D, which we also get less of in the winter time. This will help us with energy. This will help us stay focused and, you get up in the morning. I personally think that the morning I'm like the most productive. So when you're not getting that effective vitamin, you might not be as productive, and this will affect your short-term day-to-day life. The next impact of SAD is with the long term. I say that this refers mostly to areas where they have extreme weather. So that might be, regions that experience hurricanes or tornadoes, and they have to, spend a lot of their time dealing with the emotional and physical impact on their environment, and not just like in their home life. And so people that live in these climates also are going to have higher rates of seasonal depression and anxiety, because they also are experiencing less times for their daily life that we have, even though we experience all 4 seasons. So I think this goes to show that our brain is constantly responding to our environment, whether that's in a extreme controlled environment or a regular controlled environment, or whether that is a cold winter environment or a very humid summer environment. Your brain is going to respond in different ways, and everyone's going to experience, not everybody, but most people will experience some form of depression or anxiousness based off of their environment. So knowing this, I recommend that everybody struggling with this to gather the materials that you need to combat this and seek help if it is very severe. But overall, for everyone experiencing SAD, remember to take care of yourself and be on top of all of your self-care. Thank you.